President Trump continues to slam the Democrats' ridiculous impeachment hoax, tweeting today, "I recommend that nervous Nancy Pelosi, who backed up Schiff's lie, shifty Adam Schiff, sleepy Joe Biden, the whistleblower who miraculously disappeared after I released the transcript of the call, the second whistleblower who also disappeared, and the IG be part of the list." Joining me now with more, White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. Okay, what do you think the chances are of shifty Adam Schiff saying, "You're right, Mr. President, let's make them part of the list. I give you approval"?
Probably zero, but they ought to be on that list, absolutely. I mean, listen, the fact that the media is giving any credence or credibility to Adam Schiff or Nancy Pelosi at this point is absolutely ridiculous. Listen, they lied about collusion. They lied about Kavanaugh. They lied about a cover-up. Adam Schiff lied about a whistleblower. In fact, he lied to Congress and to the American people when he read his own demented and deranged words and tried to pass them off as those of the President of the United States. It's insane what this man has done. And quite frankly, the Democrats better wake up and smell what they're shoveling, because the American people deserve a Congress that works for them. USMCA needs to be passed. 250 to 500,000 jobs automatically in the U.S. economy for farmers and ranchers and manufacturers. Fixing
awful?
The infrastructure that has to be done in this country, lowering prescription drug prices, not to mention the southern border. We have been talking about this now for 3 years. And we saw the Mexican massacre when American citizens were gunned down by the cartels. We tried to talk to Nancy Pelosi about this months ago, and instead of listening and understanding, she called it a manufactured crisis, got up out of the room, the Situation Room, in fact, a serious meeting, and went right to the media and said we were lying about the whole thing. If this doesn't bring them to the table to try and secure our southern border, I don't know what will.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is, you know, when a president tries to get help to find out the extent of Ukraine involvement in the 2016 election interference, you know, which he perfectly has a right to do, they all of a sudden say he's abusing his power because it might help him in the 2020 election. So let me see if I get this. So let's forget about all the corruption from 2016, because if he unearths something that might help him, then it's an abuse of power. I mean, it is so convoluted, and I just hope the American people get it. But this is what
Hey, Judge, I'm old enough to remember when Democrats actually cared about getting to the bottom of meddling in the 2016 election. It seems as though if Donald Trump is the subject of the investigation, Democrats are fine with it. If Donald Trump is trying to get to the bottom of it, they don't want any part of it, because they understand that meddling happened under Barack Obama. He did nothing to Russia. This president has been tougher on Russia than any president in history.
But you don't even have to say it. You don't have to say it, Hogan. Bob Mueller said there was no connection there, and who had a team of more Trump-hating individuals than him? But let's talk about the president now. What he says now is, look, the day before these so-called hearings, whatever they're supposed to be, are going to start, I'm going to release the second transcript. Now, I love his timing. I love it, okay? But do you think it's going to matter to them at all?
I hope so. Listen, I've talked to the president about this yesterday. We were on a trip together, and the fact is the president has done nothing wrong. We are the ones who released the transcript. And Democrats are holding these backdoor, behind closed-door meetings, selectively leaking things to try and hurt the president, releasing opinions about a document that we released to the American people. This is public now because the president is all about transparency. That's why he put forth the transcript. He's done nothing wrong. The Democrats, speaking of Republicans, Democrats, Independents, they all understand fundamental fairness. Democrats are not giving this president due process under the Constitution. If you, Judge, got a parking ticket, you'd have more rights than the Democrats are giving this president. It's ridiculous. Let me
explain one more thing to you, Hogan. The best evidence of that phone call is a transcript. Everything else is white noise, irrelevant, immaterial. It has no
right.
role to play in any of it. I don't care what this guy thinks or that guy thinks. As long as the president on this end and that end have made clear what they're thinking. And by the way, like I said in the open, I never got money from the federal government when they didn't want something in return. And I'm not suggesting that the president did or didn't, because the guy at the other end said he felt no pressure and he didn't even know the money was held up. Absurd.
President Zelensky said there was no pressure.
Exactly.
And what the media are trying to tell you is, no, listen to people who didn't even have firsthand knowledge of the call. Listen to third-hand accounts, because they're the ones that matter. The President of the United States and President Zelensky of Ukraine both said no pressure. He didn't feel any. We put forth the call because we understand the facts are on our side. The President did nothing wrong. Democrats understand they are ruining this for the American people. It doesn't hurt Donald Trump. It hurts the American people who deserve a Congress that works for them.
Thanks so much.